watching Republic.
Viewers, you're watching Across the Republic with me, Rakshita Mishra, this evening, and this is going to be a power-packed bulletin with all the ground reports of the top story that we're tracking from across the length and breadth of the country. First up, of course, the terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir. Of course, Republic TV getting you all the latest coming in from ground zero. It's time to strike back. Republic TV will be getting you also the latest that is happening in the national capital, viewers. This time, it's another scam in the national capital. Aam Aadmi Party at the center of it, and this is a toilet scam. We'll tell you the details in this show. Also, we will be telling you what's happening with ALT Balaji. Now, Mumbai Police has issued a notice to Ekta Kapoor, Shobha Kapoor. Police is going to question Ekta Kapoor and Shobha Kapoor for obscenity, and that involves minors. And also, the latest that we will be covering on the smog in the national capital region. More in this bulletin. First up, the headlines at 6. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrives in Kazan to attend BRICS summit. Key meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin today. First response from Army Chief after India-China patrol agreement, says India looking at the 2020 status quo. An altercation breaks out between TMC MP Kalyan Banerjee and BJP MP Abhijit Gangopadhyay in the Waqf JPC meeting. TMC MP Kalyan Banerjee injures himself after getting violent. He is now suspended for a day. Ekta Kapoor and mother Shobha Kapoor booked under the POCSO Act for objectionable scenes in ALT Balaji's Gandi Baat. And after insulting Sanatan Dharm, Udayanidhi Stalin remains defiant, says will not apologize for the remarks. Amid the ongoing probe into the low-intensity blast outside the CRPF school in Delhi's Rohini, an anonymous email threatened explosions in several CRPF schools across the country. Now, sources tell us that a CRPF school in Tamil Nadu also received a threat mail and alerted the police. Among the schools that were threatened, 2 are located in the national capital, 1 in Hyderabad. Meanwhile, Delhi police pursued the suspected Khalistan link to the Prashant Vihar incident, that is the Rohini incident, with the security agencies keeping a tab on the suspected telegram handles used by the extremist elements. Here's a report.
Days after a low-intensity blast outside a CRPF school in the Prashant Vihar area of North Delhi's Rohini sent the security establishment into a tizzy. An anonymous email threatened similar blasts at several CRPF schools across the country. According to sources, a CRPF school in Tamil Nadu received a threat email and alerted Delhi police. Among the schools that were threatened in the mail, 2 are situated in the national capital and another in Hyderabad. Sources said all CRPF schools were alerted in the wake of this anonymous email. However, on subsequent investigation, the anonymous mail, which was received on Monday night, was declared a hoax.
थ्रेट को लेकर ये जो ईमेल आया वो तमिलनाडु के एक सीआरपीएफ स्कूल को ये ईमेल आया और देर रात ये ईमेल जो स्कूल की वेबसाइट है उस पर शूट किया गया था। दरअसल सुबह जब स्कूल ओपन होना शुरू हुए, स्कूल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने अपना ईमेल चेक किया, उसके बाद से पूरे देश में जितने भी सीआरपीएफ के स्कूल हैं उन सभी को अलर्ट मोड पर रखा गया है। हम इस वक्त रोहिणी में मौजूद है, दिल्ली के, जहां पर ब्लास्ट हुआ था। मेरे पीछे भी आप ये सीआरपीएफ का स्कूल देख रहे हैं। सुबह के समय जो तमाम सीआरपीएफ के ऑफिशियल्स है वो सिक्योरिटी रिव्यू करने बार बार बाहर पहुंच रहे थे। इस पूरी बाउंड्री पे आप देखेंगे कि जितने भी पेड़ हैं, जितने भी स्पॉट्स हैं, इन सभी जगहों पर सिक्योरिटी का जो रिव्यू है वो साफ तौर पर किया गया है। हालांकि दिल्ली पुलिस का कहना है कि किसी भी तरीके की पैनिक क्रिएट अभी नहीं हुआ है। एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से लगातार बातचीत की जा रही है।
Meanwhile, Delhi police pursued the Khalistan link to the Delhi blast, with the security agencies closely tracking suspected channels operated by extremist elements on UK-based messenger service Telegram. The Delhi police earlier wrote to Telegram seeking details of a handle called Justice League of India, which put out a post about the Prashant Vihar incident and tagged it with CCTV footage of the explosive going off. Amid the mounting bomb threats to passenger flights operating on the domestic and international circuits, does the email threatening blasts at CRPF schools suggest a pattern of mischief by elements inimical to the country's interests?
A protest erupted in Valley over the dastardly killings in Gandarbal, and now there are calls for a payback that is filling the air of the valley. The family members of the deceased are demanding justice for their loved ones. Your channel has visited the residence of one of the victims, speaking to his family members, who demanded that those who took their loved one's life should be brought to justice.
I, Omar Abdullah, do swear in the name of God.
Days after the deadliest terror attack in the valley since the coming of the new government that claimed the lives of 7 unarmed civilians in central Kashmir's Gandi Baat. The bereaved kin of one of the victims has demanded justice.
देखिए, मैं जहाँ तक ताल्लुक है इस हादसे की, इसको जितने भी कड़े लफ्जों में इसको कंडेम किया जाए वो कम है, और जो जाने गई हैं उनके लिए हमें बड़ा अफसोस है, और मैं जो परिवार जिन्होंने ये अपने लोग खोए हैं उनको मैं भगवान से यही दुआ करूं कि भगवान उनको हिम्मत दे, शक्ति दे, ताकि वो इस हादसे को बर्दाश्त करें, जो सदमा इनको लगा है इसको बर्दाश्त कर सकें.
Republic spoke to the family members of Shashi Bhushan Abrol, who shared their anguish over losing their loved one to the cowardly attack.
सुबह चला है, रात को ही पता चल गया. वैसे कहते हैं सुबह पक्का पता चलेगा आपको 7 बजे.
तो कल आपकी आखिरी बात हुई थी उनके साथ?
नहीं, बहू की उसकी.
क्या बता रहे थे?
बात कर रहे थे, फिर बहू कहने लगी मैं मंदिर जा रही हूँ, तो आकर मैं बातें करती हूँ.
आप देवरानी हैं, क्या हुआ था, कब आपको पता चला?
कल भाभी ने 6-6:30 बजे भाभी की बात हुई भैया के साथ. भाभी तैयार हुई, बता रही थी, तो भैया बोलते बात कर, कहते मैं मंदिर लेट हो रही, मैं आके आपसे बात करती हूँ. बस जैसे आए तो उसके बाद भैया ने फ़ोन ही नहीं उठाया. फिर हम पूरी रात तड़पते रहे, फ़ोन की कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं मिली. अब सुबह जाके हमें पता चला.
कल जब लास्ट कॉल उन्होंने क्या करवा चौथ के लिए किया?
हाँ जी, अपनी वाइफ को करवा चौथ के लिए किया.
Meanwhile, Chief Minister Omar Abdullah visited the residence of Dr. Shehnwaz Dar, who also fell victims to the Lashkar terrorists in Gandi Baat. The CM earlier came out strongly against the attack, claiming it to be the handiwork of vested interests who are out to disrupt the peace in the valley. He also condemned the violence against unarmed civilians.
कई सारे कीमती जानें छीनी गई और कुछ लोग ज़ख्मी भी हुए. इस हमले की जितनी निंदा की जाए, जितना इसके खिलाफ बोला जाए कम है. बेगुनाहों के खिलाफ इस तरह तशद्दुद का इस्तेमाल ये कहाँ से जायज़ है, और इससे हासिल क्या होगा? पिछले 35 साल से तो हम ये देखते आए हैं, लेकिन जम्मू कश्मीर में कुछ नहीं बदला. जो जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए मिलेगा वो पुरअमन एक माहौल में मिलेगा, और जाहिर सी बात है इस हमले के पीछे वजह ये है कि वो दिखाना चाहते हैं कि जम्मू कश्मीर में हालात अभी पूरी तरह से साजगार नहीं हैं.
Meanwhile, BJP leaders also visited the bereaved kin of the victims. Amid the manhunt for the cowards behind Gandi Baat, the Jammu and Kashmir police dismantled a newly floated terror outfit in the valley that operated as a cover for Lashkar-e-Taiba.
Counterintelligence Kashmir has busted a terror module that was being operated by the Lashkar commander Baba Hamas. This was under the name of a new offshoot, Tehreek-e-Labbaik Muslim, and many of the persons have been detained in the raids carried out in the 7 districts.
Meanwhile, in Bihar, the mortal remains of 3 construction workers reached their kin.
घटना सिविल में घटना है। जैसे कि शाम 7:30 7:15 बजे के पास 2 आदमी जो ये मरा है हनीफ और गलीम, ये दोनों जैसे हनीफ के पास तो लगभग मेरे सामने से आ गया था, सामने में मार के इसको, वो गलीम थोड़ा पीछे था, वो उसको रिटर्न उधर से देख रहा था ना कि वो थोड़ा कह रहा है, वो जो कह रहा है वो देखने के चक्कर में ये भी उसको भी मार।
Earlier, LG Manoj Sinha said that the forces have been given a free hand to avenge the attack.
सुरक्षा वालों को पूरा फ्री हैंड दिया गया है और ये बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। जम्मू कश्मीर का प्रशासन पूरी तरह से इन परिजनों के परिवारों के साथ है और मुझे लगता है कि जल्द ही जिन लोगों ने इस घृणित काम को अंजाम दिया है उनको निश्चित रूप से भुगतना पड़ेगा।
With a fresh wave of terror attacks jolting the JNK, the common refrain in the valley is revenge at any cost.
Now, familiar sinking feeling has gripped the Delhiites and, of course, the adjacent areas as the air quality worsens in the city, forcing residents to put on the customary face masks and confine themselves indoors, especially ahead of festive season. It's very difficult, but toxic haze and the smog is blanketing vast swathes of the capital. While the air quality index, the AQI in several areas, has slipped to the very poor range at over 350. Doctors, meanwhile, are reporting a surge in the number of patients complaining of respiratory distress as well as itchy eyes and skin. So with the smog starting to take a toll on public health, the RML hospital has announced the opening of a clinic to treat pollution-related afflictions. In fact, we'll get you more in this report.
Another year, same problem. The national capital has yet again turned into a gas chamber. The air quality has worsened, leaving hapless residents with a familiar sinking feeling.
बहुत जल्दी सांस फूल जाती है और बिना मास्क के साइकिल चला नहीं सकते और ये इस खास तौर पे इस मौसम में होता है। ये अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर के मौसम में होता है, बहुत ज़्यादा पोल्यूशन बढ़ जाता है।
हरियाणा के अंदर, पंजाब के अंदर परालियाँ जो जलती हैं इन पर रोक लगाया जाए। ये जलती है तो यहाँ पे पोल्यूशन होता है और बहुत ज़्यादा होता है।
As the air turns foul by the day, doctors are reporting a surge in patients with respiratory illnesses.
Level of the pollution has increased tremendously in Delhi NCR. So right now we are seeing patients of respiratory, eyes and skin complaints majorly in our OPDs.
Delhi continues to struggle with air pollution as the average air quality index in the national capital surpassed 310, putting it in the very poor category. Right now we're standing here at the Yamuna bank. You can see the visuals very clearly here as the national capital woke up today. A layer of smog engulfed Delhi and the nearby areas including Noida today on Tuesday morning. A second stage of a graded response action plan has been implemented in the national capital, banning the use of coal, firewood and tandoors in hotels, restaurants and open eateries as well.
Rising pollution leaving residents gasping for air. The Commission for Air Quality Management, CAQM, has now enforced GRAD 2 measures to rid the city of the familiar toxic haze.
दिल्ली में बढ़ते प्रदूषण को देखते हुए आज से दिल्ली में ग्रैब 2 लागू कर दिया गया है, यानी कि अब दिल्ली के अंदर किसी भी तरीके के डीजल जनरेटर को चलाने पर पाबंदी होगी। साथ ही सड़कों पर गाड़ियों की एक तरीके से संख्या को कम करने के लिए पार्किंग चार्जेस भी आज से दिल्ली में बढ़ा दिए गए हैं। इस वक्त हम नेताजी सुभाष पैलेस पे मौजूद हैं। तस्वीरें मैं आपको दिखा दूं कि सुबह के समय दिल्ली की सड़कों पर आपको हल्का कोहरा जैसा देखने को मिलेगा। दरअसल ये स्मॉग है, पॉल्यूशन की लेयर है। आप तस्वीरों में देख पाएंगे कि सड़कों के ऊपर पॉल्यूशन इतना है कि जो गाड़ियां निकल रही हैं वो स्मॉगी आपको फील हो रही होंगी। साथ ही मैं आपको टीवी टावर की तस्वीर दिखा दूं, ये भी आपको हल्का धुंधला नजर आएगा क्योंकि पॉल्यूशन की लेयर इस कदर दिल्ली के अंदर है कि लोगों को अब आने वाले दिनों में और परेशानियां भी हो सकती हैं।
While the ALT government said it was taking necessary steps to mitigate the pollution woes,
Right now we are standing outside the smog tower situated in Delhi's Connaught Place. This smog tower is designed to reduce air pollution, remains non-operational even as the city's air quality has worsened to the very poor category according to CPCB data. Local residents have reported that the tower has not been functioning this year, raising concerns about its effectiveness and maintenance. As the air quality deteriorates, the failure to utilize this anti-pollution infrastructure is seen as a missed opportunity to address the growing environmental crisis.
The BJP took an aim at the Ateshi-led government.
AQI is crossing 300, 350 in many parts of Delhi. Punjab's Parali continues to burn unabated. No action has been taken there. Kejriwal used to say Punjab's Parali is #1 cause of pollution in Delhi. Now what has happened? What happened to the biodecomposer? Fact of the matter is that there are internal causes of pollution in Delhi. Road pollution, construction, dust, industrial pollution, biomass burning. On this, Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party have done nothing over the last 10 years.
Meanwhile, neighbouring Haryana said stubble burning in the state, which has often been blamed for contributing to the Delhi smog, has reduced significantly.
हरियाणा राज्य के अंदर 2021 में लगभग 7,000 एक्टिव फायर लोकेशन के केसेस थे, जो इस साल घटकर 2023 में 2,300 रह गए हैं। और इस साल पूरी तरह नोडल ऑफिसर्स की और सरकार की निगरानी है और फार्मर्स को पूरी तरह प्रोत्साहन किया जा रहा है ताकि नंबर ऑफ केसेस कम से कम रहें।
As the city chokes and a political blame game erupts, the big question is, why should people have to struggle for clean air every year?
Right, viewers, we shift our focus to the POCSO case that has been filed against Ekta Kapoor. Now, Mumbai Police now issued notices to producer Ekta Kapoor and her mother, producer Shobha Kapoor, who were booked under the POCSO Act for allegedly showing inappropriate scenes involving minor girls in an episode of ALT Balaji's web series Gandi Baat. The case is connected to the season 6 of the web series on the OTT platform, and according to Mumbai Police, a case has been registered against the production house, against Balaji Telefilm Limited, Ekta Kapoor and her mother at the MHB police station in Mumbai under Section 295A of the IPC, IT Act and Sections 13 and 15 of the POCSO Act. Here's a report.
ALT Balaji of Ekta Kapoor and Shobha Kapoor has landed in a legal soup. A POCSO case has been filed against the producers and they have been summoned in the case. Ekta Kapoor faces the charges of using minor for an adult scene in her OTT web series Gandi Baat.
3 वर्ष पहले अल्ट बालाजी की वेबसाइट पर एक अश्लील वीडियो काफ़ी वायरल हुआ था। उस वीडियो में एक नाबालिग लड़की को इंडिसेंट तरीके से दिखाया गया था, जिसकी शिकायत हमने मुंबई पुलिस कमिश्नर साहब को दी थी, जिसमें वहां से हमें आश्वासन मिला था कि इस विषय पर पोस्को एक्ट के तहत कार्रवाई की जाएगी। पर कुछ समय बाद पुलिस ने उसे अनदेखा करना चालू कर दिया। फिर हमने चिल्ड्रन राइट कमीशन को एक पत्र भेजा, जिसमें चिल्ड्रन राइट कमीशन ने मुंबई पुलिस को एक्शन टेकन रिपोर्ट जमा करने का आदेश दिया। फिर भी मुंबई पुलिस ने उसे अनदेखा किया। आखिरकार हमने कोर्ट में एक याचिका दी और कोर्ट का निर्णय आया कि इस विषय पर जल्द से जल्द एफआईआर की जाए। अब जाके एफआईआर हुई है, पर एफआईआर करने के बाद अब तक एकता कपूर जी को अरेस्ट नहीं किया है। हमारी मांग ये है कि अगर इस विषय में अगर कोई आम नागरिक होता तो अब तक उसे घर पे पूरे परिवार समेत उठा लिया होता।
Mumbai Police will record the statement of minor's parents and will also record statement of the cast, crew and the director in the film. With that, the Mumbai Police has asked Ekta Kapoor and Shobha Kapoor to come up with certain documents pertaining to ALT Balaji. With this recent controversy surrounding Ekta Kapoor,
there in one of the web series of ALT Balaji. Remember, ALT Balaji is an OTT platform which comes up with web series and adult web series, in fact, and adult movies, a kind of soft porn that is being shown on ALT Balaji. Ultimately, there were some of the scenes or some of the visuals wherein minors were also involved in that very scene, and in fact in the same sequence the complainant had demanded to register a case against ALT Balaji and remove the alleged scene. Now, in the same sequence, the Mumbai Police did not register the case initially because whenever a minor is involved, remember they need to do medical, or if there is any kind of molestation or any sexual assault, only then police officials are able to do the medical test, and after which the case could be registered. So ultimately Mumbai Police had difficulties registering the case initially, but the complainant switched to the court, and following the orders of court, now the Mumbai Police has registered the case against ALT Balaji and Ekta Kapoor and Shobha Kapoor under the sections of 295A of IPC and IT Act.
It remains to be seen if Ekta Kapoor can get out of the legal trouble.
Well, that's all we could pack in this edition of Across the Republic, but don't go anywhere as more breaking news and updates continue on the other side at 6:30. Stay tuned to Republic.
PM Modi in Kazan for BRICS 2024. Top-notch Modi diplomacy with non-West grouping. India's lead cemented in a multipolar world. Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
Director, the taste of success.
We're now in the bunker that we found underneath a Lebanese house in a Shia village only a couple of kilometers from our border. This bunker was ready for Radwan forces, for a battalion of Radwan forces to enter into this bunker and do a raid into Israel and do a larger scale of massacre than the 7th of October. They were planned with the motorcycles here to go to Kiryat Shmona, to Iftach, to villages and positions inside Israel and conduct a massacre. They were only here a couple of days ago. In those beds with those weapons here, we found the fresh coffee and food here in this compound, underneath a Lebanese village, underneath a Shia house. This wasn't supposed to be here. 1701 should have prevented it. We need to impose a 1701, a fully imposed 1701 this area, so Hezbollah can never be next to our border with such infrastructures that can do a Conquer Galilee plan like he planned. Hassan Nasrallah, this ruthless terrorist that we eliminated, that is responsible for the deaths of many people, not just Israelis, Germans, Americans, French and others. The world is a better place without Hezbollah. The world is a better place without Nasrallah. Nasrallah thought he understands Israel. He was wrong and he was eliminated. And all our enemies should know, whether they are close or far away in Iran, they should know that we are determined. We are determined to supply security and safety to our citizens. We have only two missions: to bring our citizens back home next to the border in safety and security, and to bring back home 101 hostages that are being held in ruthless conditions in Gaza.
We're now in a Lebanese village, a Shia village in Lebanon. This village is one of the villages close to the Israeli border. I want to show you a Lebanese house, a Lebanese in a Shia village house, close to our border. Every house is a terror base. I wanted you to see in your own eyes what we found here today. This is our forces raiding on this village. Come with me. In this house, a storage of gear, waiting for Hezbollah's Radwan forces, with vests, helmets, night vision, mines you can see here.
In the India Today Best Universities 2023 survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School Bengaluru.